All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at the language of notaries, specifically the notarial acts section,
Okay.
which I know can be a little bit confusing sometimes with all the legal jargon.
Right.
But we're going to make it nice and easy for you,
Mhm.
and we're going to be pulling our information from the Wisconsin Notary Public Handbook and the Department of Financial Institutions website.
Yes.
So, you know, it's coming straight from the source.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
All right, so first up, let's talk about affidavit.
Okay.
I feel like I've heard that word before.
Yeah.
Like at a courtroom drama or something.
It sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, so what is it?
Well, imagine you need to make a formal declaration. You put it in writing.
Mm-hmm.
You swear it's true.
Okay.
That's basically what an affidavit is.
So it's like a written sworn statement?
Exactly. It's a written statement where someone,
Okay.
we call this person the affiant, swears under oath that everything in it is true.
All right, so the affiant is the person who's making the statement.
Right.
Got it.
Like the one who affirms it.
Okay. So then how does a notary play into this whole thing?
Well, that's where the jurat comes in.
Okay.
You can think of it as the notary's stamp of approval,
Mm-hmm.
a little seal of authenticity. It's their certificate that appears after the signature on a sworn statement.
Okay.
And it has to be signed and dated when the notarization happens right then and there.
Oh, so it's like timestamp?
Yeah, like a timestamp.
Gotcha.
Now, when it comes to swearing that truth, you'll hear the terms oath and affirmation,
Right.
but there's a subtle difference between the two.
Yeah, I always think those two mixed up.
Yeah.
What is it?
They both involve a solemn pledge of truth.
Okay.
But the difference is an oath may invoke a deity,
Mhm.
while an affirmation is secular.
Oh, okay, so an oath is like, I swear to God, and an affirmation is like, I solemnly affirm.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
But either way, you're making a serious commitment to the truth.
So no lying.
Right. And lying on either one is perjury, and that has serious legal consequences.
Got it. So we've covered affidavit, affiant, jurat, oath, and affirmation.
Yeah.
What about acknowledgment? I see that word a lot, but what does it mean?
An acknowledgment is a little different.
Okay.
Here, you're not swearing to the truth of something. You're just confirming that you're signing a document knowingly and willingly.
Oh, okay. I think I get it.
It's like when you sign for a package.
Mm-hmm.
You're acknowledging you received it. You don't know what's inside, but you're confirming that you got it.
Right. Okay, so it's more about verifying you signed it rather than the content itself.
Exactly.
So to recap, an oath or affirmation focuses on the truth of a statement, and acknowledgement is confirming the act of signing.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, that makes sense. I think I'm starting to get it.
Good.
So each of these notarial acts has a different purpose, and it's important to understand the difference.
Right.
Because it could have legal consequences.
Yeah, and that's just the beginning. There's a lot more to these notarial acts than meets the eye.
Oh, I bet this is where it gets interesting.
It does. All right, let's dive in.
It's kind of cool how all this technical stuff actually impacts everyday life.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we don't always think about it, but it's there behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's like this hidden legal framework.
Exactly.
So, like, can you give us some example of how this plays out in real life?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So let's say you're selling your house. Big deal, right?
Yeah, here's.
Yeah. So the notary wants to make sure everything's legit.
Right. You don't want any legal issues when you're transferring ownership.
No way. So the notary's going to walk you through the process.
Okay.
First, they'll verify your identity, probably check your driver's license.
Okay.
Then they explain what the deed is all about.
Yeah.
Make sure you understand what you're signing.
Like, make sure I'm not signing something blindly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want to be sure you're signing willingly, no pressure, anything like that. They actually witness you signing the document.
Okay, so it's not just about the signature, but about my intent, too. Right. And once you've signed, they complete their certificate of acknowledgement. You know, that official stamp we talked about, and sign it and seal it.
It's like a whole process.
It is. It's all about checks and balances.
To protect everyone.
Exactly. Now, things get a little more interesting if someone's signing on behalf of someone else or an organization.
Okay.
Like, let's say you've got the president of a company signing a big contract.
Mm-hmm.
The notary has to make sure that person has the authority to sign for the company.
Oh, so it's not just about checking their ID.
No, they need proof that they can actually make that decision for the company.
So they need to see some kind of official documentation.
Yeah, something like a corporate resolution or something like that.
Wow. So there's even more to it than I thought.
You see, there are a lot of layers to this.
It's not just recognizing a signature. It's about verifying intent and making sure they have the legal right to sign.
You got it. And that's why notaries are so important.
Hmm.
They're like the gatekeepers of legal validity.
You can't mess with notaries then.
right? They keep things running smoothly.
Okay, so let's go back to sworn statements, those affidavits.
Okay.
What if I've been in an incident and need to file a police report
Okay.
and I have to sign a statement about what happened?
Yeah.
That's where the oath or affirmation comes in, right?
The notary's there to walk you through that.
Okay.
Remind you about the penalty of perjury.
Oh, yeah.
Because lying on that statement is a big deal.
Right.
They watch you sign and then complete that jurat,
Okay.
their official certificate to confirm that you signed and swore to tell the truth.
So it's kind of like a courtroom thing, but on paper.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, cool.
They're creating that formal record of your statement and making sure it's valid if it goes to court.
Wow. I'm learning a lot about notaries today.
It's a whole world.
I know, it's fascinating.
Right, and we've just scratched the surface.
There's more.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm ready for it. Tell me more.
Well, have you ever thought about what happens if a notary messes up? Or if their seal gets lost or stolen? Or what if they change their name, like if they get married?
Okay, yeah. What happens then?
We'll get into all that.
So what happens if a notary makes a mistake?
Well, I guess it depends on what kind of mistake it is.
Okay.
Like something small, a typo or something. You can
Right.
usually just cross it out and initial it.
Okay.
But if it's something bigger, like if they use the wrong certificate,
Mm-hmm.
it could invalidate the whole document.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what should a notary do if they mess up?
They should tell everyone involved right away
Okay.
and let them know how to fix it.
Mm.
Sometimes you have to re-sign the document and do the whole thing over again.
Okay.
And if it's really bad, they might need to talk to a lawyer.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
Exactly, especially with legal documents.
All right, so what about a lost or stolen seal?
Oh, that's not good.
I bet.
That seal is really important,
Mm-hmm.
and if someone else gets a hold of it, they could use it for fraud.
Oh, no.
So if your seal goes missing, you need to report it to the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions right away and
Right.
get a new one.
Okay.
Make sure it's different from the old one so no one can use it.
Like changing your passwords.
Exactly.
Good analogy.
So what if a notary changes their name?
They got to update everything.
Okay.
It's the law.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about their signature has to match their seal?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with their name. If their name changes, they need a new seal.
Okay. So can they still use their old seal until the new one comes in?
Well, technically, they're supposed to use what's registered with the Department of Financial Institutions.
Right.
So it's better to wait until they get the new seal and all the paperwork's done.
Gotcha. So are there rules about what the seal looks like?
Yeah, there's some rules.
Okay.
It can be round or rectangular,
Okay.
and it can be embossed or a rubber stamp,
Okay.
but it has to have certain words:
Like what?
Notary Public,
Mm-hmm.
State of Wisconsin,
Okay.
and the notary's full name.
Okay.
No nicknames or anything like that.
So it has to be clear who the notary is. Right. And here's another thing. A notary can actually have both an embossed seal and a rubber stamp,
Oh, really?
as long as they've filed both with the Department of Financial Institutions.
So it's like one for fancy stuff and one for everyday use.
Yeah.
You know, it's really interesting how the notary is like this impartial witness.
Right.
Like, they're just there to make sure everything is done right.
Exactly.
They don't take sides or give legal advice.
Right.
They just make sure the process is legal.
That's it.
They're like a referee,
Yeah, I like that.
just making sure everyone's playing fair.
Exactly.
And that's what makes it all legal and official.
Right. It's all about trust and validity.
Wow, being a notary is a big responsibility.
It is.
It's way more than just stamping a document.
Right.
It's about protecting people and upholding the law.
That's why we wanted to do this deep dive
Yeah.
to show people how important this all is.
We've learned so much today.
I know it's been a good
We've
little...
defined all those confusing terms,
Mhm.
talked about real-life examples, and even discussed some of the ethical stuff.
Right.
I think our listeners are going to be notary experts now.
I hope so.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Okay.
But keep thinking about notaries and all the important work they do. And until next time.